Hey everybody, and welcome back. So we are about to be setting up all of our April budget spreads. So we are going to start with our monthly calendar with all of our pretty beautiful April budget stickers from my Etsy shop. So if you want to check it out, there's a link down below if you see anything that you're interested in to set up your budget. We are in our Erin Condren 7x9 monthly planner. We're going to flip to April here, and we're going to start with our monthly view first and go ahead and get that set up. A lot of these we are not going to be filling in numbers just because I haven't completely closed out Marches to know the ending balances for certain things yet, but we are going to go ahead and lay down what we do have. So let's go ahead and get started. If you hear little pulps, that is Bear roaming through the house, trying to get some work done now that the kids are in bed. They have actually been really good today. So what are you doing, buddy? He's just roaming. So here's our April budget. So in here, we like to track all of our bills when they actually clear the account, how much it was. We track all of our expenses, and they're color coordinated according to my tracker here. And then we use this for no spends to see how many days we went in the month without making any purchases, spending any money on bills, anything like that. There are 30 days in April, so we're hoping to have at least like 15, 16 no spends. So we'll see how well we are going to make out for April. But there are 5 Fridays that we're going to be paid. We have Easter and a 4-day weekend for the kids, as well as we'll probably have a birthday party for the twins and my my youngest nephew. So we'll have a birthday party for the twins, and we call them the triplets because they're all the same age. One of these 2 weekends here, we haven't exactly set a date for those, but we have to decide on which weekend and get that set up. Let's see. Now we're going to flip on over to our debt tracker. So we like to just track our debt, and then on the same page, I do a transaction log because we do make multiple payments for the cars. So I like to keep a good track of how much we are paying towards the principal, how much is coming out for interest, all that fun stuff. We're going to use the pretty flowers. Our debt. Okay, so for us, we have 4 debts. We have the Highlander, which is our family car. We have the Camaro, which is James's car. I have student loans. And then there is some medical, which I've been trying to figure out about getting it wiped. So working on that. So hopefully I can get that taken care of and won't have to worry about that. But we shall see. So those are the only debts that we have. Perfect. All right, and then down here, like I was saying, we like to track all of our transactions when we make our car payments every 2 weeks. It just really helps us stay on top of how much is actually going towards the principal, how much is going towards our interest. Keeps me on my toes. And that went down crooked, but it will be fine. We're just going to use this over top. All right, perfect. So there's our debt tracker and our transaction log ready to go for April. As soon as we close out Marches and I get all of my ending numbers, I can put in the beginning numbers to know how much we are starting out for the month. Kind of give a good update as soon as that goes through. So we don't have too many, but I just like to make sure there's plenty of space. You never know. All right, now to flip over, we are going to be doing our monthly budget here. we're going to take our pretty washi here. I have some little hidden Easter eggs on this one. Just a little fun thing for the holidays. So we have our monthly view here. There are two options when you receive the monthly budget. You can either do it with all your expenses like straight down, or you can split them up between fixed and variable. I personally like to use the fixed and variables just because it makes it a little bit more easy for me. But whichever way you prefer, have them both. Okay. And then our April budget. Perfect. All right, so our income that comes in for April helps fund our bills for May. So this doesn't match up with what we'll put down here because the fixed and variables were taken care of previous month for March. Everything is covered, and I know as soon as I close out that budget how much I have for each category. But we do need to know how much income we're going to expect to come in. For our sources is James. His is expected to be about $3,600, and that was $720 times 5 for the 5 weeks that we'll receive paychecks. Then myself for YouTube, Etsy, Herbalife is $300, and then for the office, I'm not sure if it's going to be 3 paychecks or 4 paychecks, so I went ahead and under budgeted and did $280 on that, just in case, because there is one weekend for Easter that we're only working 1 day that weekend. So just wanted to make sure I'm under on that. Then we have other for anything extra that may come in. We don't ever budget anything because we never know if it actually coming in. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this down. All right, these numbers here are the ones that we use in our paycheck breakdown. If you want to check out that video, it'll be next, posted next. So you can see exactly what we do with this and how we break it down for May's bills and expenses. But keeping on going. Next up, we're going to do fixed. So on this side here, I like to do fixed because I don't have as many fixed as I do variable. First up, we have the cars. We have rent. We have Allstate. We have storage. Student loans. Pest control. And the billing cycle is on the 7th for there. I have to remember that because they changed their payment thing. So I'm going to have to keep remembering that. Expected on the first Friday and not come. All right, I do like to skip one line just in case something got slipped when I was making up my budget. So that way it is good to go. All right, so for the cars, $920 for the month. For rent, it is $600. Allstate is $285. Storage is $64. Student loans is $60. Pest control is $33. All right, so there is all of our fixed. There. Next, we're going to do our variables. Okay. So first up on our variable side, we have the power. It depends on our usage for the month. We're putting our cell phones on this side because we had to replace James's phone, and our phone bill is going to be adjusting just a hair because of that. All right, next we have water. Our internet is all over the place for the next few months, so I'm just going to be sitting over here just to make sure to keep an eye on it. Then we have our cash envelopes that we use. So we have grocery, gas, spending for me and James, miscellaneous, sinking funds, savings, debt, the cushion, and then anything that's unbudgeted. Okay, so those are all of our variables, which is a lot. Usually cell phone and internet is fixed, but there is some adjustments going on for the next few months on those two. So we're just going to leave them sitting on this side until they get back to normal. All right, so let's go ahead and draw in some lines on this side. For power, I know that I did set $230 aside for that, and water is getting $70. So depending on how much the rest of these end up with at the end of March will depend on how much is going to go in here for our budget. But as soon as I get those final numbers, I will show y'all that in one of my cash lump stuffing videos or weekly check-in videos, so y'all can see the update there. All right, so moving along, we are going to set up our weekly check-in spread and our transaction log on these sheets here. So knock these two out. I love going ahead and having my budget fully set up for the whole month. It makes it really easy to go in and fill in, update, and all that fun stuff. So apparently talking land stickers down is not my strong suit still. Okay. This side. Okay, so we're going to do the weekly check-in and transaction log for here. And I don't think I laid down anything washy on the last ones. Alright, so transaction log sides are really easy. I like to keep a running log just so that way I can see like our trends on when we spend the most money, what categories. Alright, give me 1 sec. Alright, so now we have that. We are going to let's take our thin washi here and lay it down at the very bottom so we have plenty of room for all of our transactions for the month. We'll wait to draw in lines. Alright, so there's the transaction log side. We're going to do our weekly check-in side here. So the categories that we check in for every single month, pretty much since we started. We do groceries, of course, trying to stay on that grocery budget. Then we have gas. We have our personal spending. We have miscellaneous, and then anything that may be unbudgeted. So we have 5. So groceries, gas, miscellaneous, spending, and unbudgeted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So I'm going to skip 5 lines and lay down, go in and lay down all of the last few weeks. We're going to check in for 4 weeks, 4 weekly check-ins for this month. Okay. All right, so there is our weekly check-in. So I just got to fill in all of the categories down, draw in our lines. So there's that, all nice and set up. I will go in and fill in the categories off camera. But we have one more page. Oh, I need to draw lines here. All right, so the last page we are setting up is going to be our sinking funds and transaction log for that. So we're using these here. And once again, we're going to do transaction log first. Over here. see. Go ahead and write this one down. All right. Now, sinking funds, we don't usually ever have this many transactions, but just to be on the safe side, we'll just go ahead and draw it all the way down. And lastly, we're going to set up all of our sinking funds. For us, sinking funds are us putting money aside for events coming up throughout the year that we need to plan for. Uh-oh, got marker all over my finger. Am I even using that? I'm not even using that color. All right, then sinking funds. All right, so I try to do sinking funds in our alphabetical order just to kind of make it flow, have a little purpose. But first up for categories, we have our anniversary for me and James. And then we have birthdays. There's 6 of us in our house that this goes for. Car maintenance. Car tax. Christmas. Clothes. Dance for Alexis. Family fun. Gas, and this is for our propane if we fill it up. I'm leaning towards not filling it up ever again, but you never know. Gifts, holidays, house, lawn, medical, mail, and this here is just what's left over from my spending from month to month. I'll just add it in here to save up for getting my hair done, getting my nails done, something special for myself. That's cost more than what normal allowances are. Pet fund, Sam's Club, our annual renewal. Maybe even just to bulk up on a shopping trip one time. We'll see. School. So this is for back to school supplies, pictures, new supplies for school throughout a year, new school related clothing, things like that. Vape for James, vision, and then utilities. So utilities is a special one for us. We use it when there's extra money left over from how much our bills. So if our bills were less than what we budgeted for the month, I put them in utilities to help cover the months that are more than what we budgeted. Hopefully that didn't confuse anybody. But we are going to take my purple, lay it down here at the bottom. Now I haven't closed out sinking funds all the way, so I will also update this just as soon as I close out those. All right, so all those are done. I'm gonna go ahead and draw in lines though. So there is our sinking funds. So let's see what we're looking at. Transaction sinking funds, our transaction log and weekly check-in. April budget, we are going to lay down a few stickers here. And then our paycheck breakdown, which is in a separate video if you want to check that out. We have our debt tracker, debt transaction log to keep track of those transactions, and then our monthly view page here. So that is everything set up for our April budget. Super exciting, ready to get started for the new month, see what everything is going to play out for the new month. Hopefully we can set money aside in savings as well as put a lot towards debt this month. Hoping to aim more towards debt in April since there is an extra pay period. So we shall see. We'll play it by ear week to week and figure out what's going to be the best for that week. If we know we need to add extra to a bill, we'll do that versus putting it towards debt and savings. but it just plays out whichever way works for the week. But I really hope that y'all enjoyed this April budget setup. Super love getting done ahead of time. That way I'm ready to go when the first starts. So, but I will catch y'all in my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all then. Bye bye now.